Daddy, I want some more popcorn. Shut up! I'm watching some MILFs in
I'm
my
like some.
area. They're interested in me.
No one's interested in you, Nook.
That's facts.
Oh God. All right, we gotta. So, what are we talking about? Mulan. Talk about
Hi, welcome
Mulan.
back to the final podcast. This is episode 8. We're both fucking tired.
Wait, we're
That's it.
recording
That's the
right now.
intro. Yeah, I've been
We're
recording
recording?
for like 10 minutes.
Fuck that. We've been recording. I didn't
Yeah,
even notice. Oh shit. Well, we can't put every. No, we
it's
can't put
all going in.
bullshit. It's not.
No,
Wasn't
it's
it,
fine.
wasn't it my turn
I'm keeping the spaghetti bit and everything personal you said about your life, and then everything else is getting
already?
cut.
Déjà? Ah, prends ton popcorn, il est là. Je parle avec Nick. Non. Ah, je suis pas un jeu. Told you, he eats popcorn faster than I do. It's crazy.
It's genetic.
Pourquoi quoi? Comment? Parce qu'on fait un podcast.
All of it is staying in.
That should stay in. That
Yeah.
should stay in. It's pretty funny. All right. So wasn't I supposed to do the intro?
Who
Who gives
knows
a shit?
anymore?
Who cares anymore?
What year is it? What
I
day
don't
is
know.
it? Who
I don't
cares?
know. Welcome to the final podcast where Nick and I are both exhausted from work because we both had so much to do.
It has been a week. God.
Dude, I mean, I was working day and night. My girlfriend she was like, I could feel her stare, her glaring. She's like looking at me like, it's like 10:30 at night and I'm on my laptop working. And all she hears is tick, 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 on my fucking laptop or on the keyboard. And she's like, she's like, I understand. I know this is crunch time. I understand. And I even told her, I'm like, I thank you for being patient because I know it's not easy, but man, I go to bed thinking about the shoots coming up and I wake up thinking about the shoots coming up. You know, it's like that kind of life.
Oh, listen, I get you. All I dream about is that stupid project management program that I use. That's all I see when I close my eyes, that stupid interface. Like I dream of it.
About a week and a half ago, I dreamt that, and this is bad, I dreamt that I was on a set, all right? And, it's the dream. So you kind of like, you're there and you're like, oh shit, I'm on a set. I'm responsible for this set. I have to take care of, I'm like, I'm just dropped into this. Like I'm the production manager / coordinator / assistant director. I'm like, I take care of everything. And we're shooting on this huge lot. And I think we're near or the docks, I don't know what. And then the set starts getting flooded, and people start drowning on set. And I'm just there looking at people drowning on set. And I wake up and I'm like,
such an apt metaphor.
This is bad. Like I can't start dreaming about people drowning on set. I mean, and people that I know that I work with right now. Like I remember one of the directors drowning in front of me. I'm like, when you wake up,
That's
you're
a
like,
big
this
yikes
is
for me.
bad. Yeah, this is bad. Like my body and my subconscious is trying to send me a message. So for the first time in a long time, about a month, I have a shit ton of work to do, but it's all things that I can do like on the work days and like the work hours. Like I don't think I probably will need to work a bit in nights, but not that much. To me, it's like I feel like I'm on vacation right now.
That's beautiful.
Which is crazy about our work though when you think about it. Like I'm happy that I only have to do 40 hours this week. Or 35 or whatever.
I think I've only done 1 week so far where I did actually like only 40 hours.
That's crazy.
Of the 3 months now.
Completely insane.
Although, you know what? I got to write a script this week, so that was kind of fun.
Oh, really?
Because we have to do this animated presentation video that goes on a website. And so I wrote the script for that and like the pitch basically for it. So at least that was some sort of creative writing activity that I got to do.
Really? Oh, that's cool. You're lucky. So when are they hiring someone new?
Whenever you're ready, bud. I found a coordinator, which is nice.
Yeah, I know. That's good. Good for you.
Who's starting in 2 weeks.
But I don't want to be your coordinator, Nick. I don't want you to be my coordinator. I ain't gonna be your bitch.
I don't want you to be. I want you to be and then at a further office, just far enough away that I don't have to talk to you, but close enough that I can throw paper airplanes at you. That's the dream. That's the
Would be
ideal midpoint.
that would be fantastic. Anyway, so
Hey,
we should
Mulan
get
sucks. Am I right?
we need to get this started. So you didn't pay to watch
I
this,
did not.
but you watch it on Disney Plus.
I did. A friend of mine has access to my Disney Plus account because he's a huge Disney nerd, I think. I don't know. And he bought it on my account because he was very excited for it. So my whole account now has access to it. So I did watch it because I wasn't planning on buying it because I was planning on boycotting it for multiple reasons.
Uh-huh.
The main one being, human rights. But then I didn't have to boycott it because somebody already bought it on my account. So I was like, well, I mean, at that point, I'm not making any grand statements by not watching it. So I'll watch it.
It's like if someone went to a fucking cotton farm and then like, well, it ain't my slave who made me the lemonade, so I'm gonna take the lemonade. It ain't my slave, so basically I ain't using the.
You know
the
what? I
slave.
resent that comparison, but I understand why you're making it.
I know.
But it's not like some Disney exec was like sitting at home, waking up in a cold sweat, going like, "Oh no, Nick's not watching Mulan. He's boycotting it. What will we do? Our profits."
Yeah,
They really needed that 34.99 Canadian to squeeze by this fiscal quarter. Like that's really what was
Probably.
holding them together.
Probably. Who you don't know. Just like when it comes to voting, one vote can change everything.
You're right. 34.99 Canadian can make all the difference to a multi-billion-dollar company that owns half the world.
I think it's that billion isn't even the number now. It's like
Yeah. I don't even.
gazillion. I didn't pay for it.
So who paid for? Oh, you pirated it. You sailed the high seas with
Yeah,
the black flag.
Fuck it. I didn't even watch it in English. I watched it in French.
I respect that. I respect the piracy. It's like an in-between between a boycott and buying it because you're watching it, but you're not paying for it. So I respect
No,
that.
I'm not. Fuck that. I'm gonna pay for Mulan. But I do. I like. Okay. So, preface. How many of the live action remakes have you seen? Which ones have you seen?
Including Mulan, I've only seen 2. The only other one I saw was Beauty and the Beast.
Okay, so you've probably seen the 2 best, believe it or not.
Yikes!
Can you imagine?
That doesn't bode well for the other ones. So the other ones are what? Lion King?
Lion
Right?
King, which is anybody would say, "Oh, it's great." No, it's the same. It's the same movie, and not just the same
With
movie.
worse voice
it's
acting.
The same shots. It's the same movie, same pace, same everything. But just worse voice actors. The animals are just like, well, what are you trying to do here? There's no emotion, right?
Are there more or less songs? Usually, what I've noticed is a pattern that they add unnecessary garbage. That's what they did with Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast added a lot of unnecessary garbage. And weight.
Yeah. The scene in Paris, which is with the
multiple
plague
scenes in
doctor.
Paris with the plague, and then they teleport with the book, and I don't even.
Yeah. No. Well, in The Lion King, I don't think I don't remember. I think it's basically more or less the same. Really, it's the same movie, same songs.
What other live action remakes are there that are Disney owned? Was Jungle Book?
Cinderella, I think, right? Cinderella, which was the first one.
Which Cinderella? There's like 45 Cinderella.
No,
movies.
but like, okay, wait. Let me Okay, I'm gonna go on my phone to check out, or I'm just gonna Google it.
Stuff like Cinderella is not owned by Disney, right? It's just that it's free.
But it's
not copywritten, right? So anybody can make a Cinderella movie. It's not owned by Disney.
No, but I know, but I mean, like, I think it was one of the first live action remakes of a movie that was made by a cartoon that Disney made. Cinderella is a cartoon that Disney made.
Yeah.
Right. And they made a movie, which was like the first, like the beginning of let's make live action movies out of property we've already used. It's a remake. I think it's the first one in the long.
Because I remember that year, was it 2017, where there was 2 Jungle Book movies that came out in 1 year. One of them was Andy Serkis's, and the other one was someone else's. One of those must have been Disney, right?
I think the one made by Jon Favreau was Disney.
But he made The Lion King, didn't he?
But he also made.
He also made Jungle Book.
Yeah, he did. Actually, maybe that one's the best one. I think maybe that's the best one.
I haven't seen that one.
live action, right? I'm trying to Google what are the Disney live
It's like Snow
action.
White, right? There's that Snow White and the Huntsman series
Mhm.
that's also it's not owned by Disney, but it's all free,
Yeah.
not copywritten work. Like Sherlock Holmes. Anybody can make a Sherlock Holmes movie or show because nobody
Okay.
owns that.
So the Jungle Book, that is one of no, that is so yeah, Jungle Book. There's oh, Alice in Wonderland. Really? Yeah, I guess. But was that Disney?
I
Cinderella,
mean, it must have
Cinderella,
been.
Cinderella. Beauty and the Beast. Dumbo. Dumbo's not that bad, except for
I
the
haven't
ending.
seen it. It looked bad. They made Lady and
Uh,
the Tramp as well, right?
yeah, Aladdin, which is just oh man, Aladdin's just
Oh,
a
that's the
train
one I'm
wreck.
forgetting.
That is a train wreck.
That is
Aladdin
the one
is
that
a
I'm forgetting.
train.
It looks real bad.
Oh, Aladdin is a train wreck. It's so horrible. And I think it's and plus they're trying to not be racist. You know what I mean? So it's like because Aladdin is very
How'd that work out for them?
never does really work out very good for them. You know, I mean, in the sense that they're trying to make these movies that were based on cartoons that culturally appropriated everything. You know, it was just like we're gonna Mulan's gonna be as cringy as it can be, but it's fine because it's a cartoon for kids. So, you know, it's not. And plus, it was in a time when we didn't really talk about that. But
Yeah,
now,
it's time when
if
it's
you make
okay for a guy from Brooklyn to play a dragon, like an Eastern dragon character. That's fine. Now they get
yeah,
crucified for it.
yeah, no, like of course. And I mean, can we? Oh man, where do we start? Talk about Mulan. Where do we start? Okay, wow, this podcast
First of all, it's
is
bad.
so yeah,
This
but
is a mess.
this podcast is the worst we've done so far, I think.
both of our brains are mashed potatoes, and we're just trying to get through it. I just want to bitch
God,
about Mulan. I just want to bitch about Mulan, and then we're done. That's it. This is,
this is like I have more stories to tell about like our personal stories of on set
oh,
in the
so do
beginning.
I.
Oh man, so okay, where do I begin? First things first. The movie, the first scene. It's important, right? When you see a movie, the first scene for it to be
I don't even remember what the first scene is.
she's
That's how memorable this movie is.
she's a young girl and
Oh,
she's running
it opens with
across.
narration. Her father is narrating.
Yeah,
There have been
yeah,
many
which is fine.
tellings of the legend of Mulan or whatever.
Which I thought was, which then I thought, oh, that's nice. It's like they're telling a story. When you start with narration like that and you tell a story that's like a fable or a legend, it makes it so that whatever happens in the movie, you justify it by saying, well, it's a legend. So,
Yeah,
but then
even though it's based on real historical events.
yeah, but then it's like it kind of drops that really quickly. But the first scene is she's a kid and she's running across their like the village is like this
Just
huge oval structure, right? And
I
she's
couldn't
running
help but thinking
across.
of what Kung Fu Hustle, is that the movie? I
Yeah,
could not
exactly.
help but think of Kung Fu Hustle when I saw that.
And it's like a weird mixture of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon and Kung Fu Hustle, where she's like barely touching the surfaces and she's just gliding and she's running after a chicken and she catches a chicken and whatever.
It's called having chi.
Yeah, she has chi.
As a white
Chi?
colonizer oppressor, you wouldn't know about it.
You're completely right. Just make me wonton suit, you fucking bitch. You should cut that out because I'm gonna get like, oh, fuck it.
Oh yeah, all one people who are going to listen to that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I'm telling you, the FBI is listening to this, and the CIA, and the KGB, and the whatever the Chinese equivalent of KGB is.
Just China. Just China.
Just China's listening. Just China.
I'm sorry. Are you saying that my Huawei laptop is spying on me? How dare you imply that?
So the movie begins with that. That scene is just weird. I don't get it. They're trying to show that she has chi, I guess, like you said, and then it cuts to, I guess, what we would understand as being the more classical Mulan story. It basically starts off where the movie begins in the cartoon, where she's about to meet the what is she called, a matchmaker woman?
Yeah,
Right?
the matchmaker lady. She gets all
Yeah,
dressed up and goes that whole prim and proper table
yeah,
tea service, and
and I
she
think
gets
that
to again
this,
show off her chi.
yeah, exactly. And I think that the whole movie is not the problem with this movie is not execution because it's no wait let me technical execution. The movie's beautifully shot. there's no, I mean, in the sense that there's some nice swooping shots. It's, there's details to the art direction, the costumes, camera movement, the fight scenes are well executed, but it's just so empty.
Yeah,
Everything
exactly.
is
It's
so
everything is pretty
empty.
and nice and well executed aesthetically, but the content is
It is
just not there.
so bad. It's the perfect
Writing is
example.
bad,
Yeah.
dialogue, the whole structure of the story.
Yeah. I mean, there are parts to it where I was watching it. The reason why I say that it's probably, the one with this one and Beauty and the Beast are probably the two best ones is because there's parts to this movie where I said to myself, well, this is interesting. Like this could have been something like the witch, not even the what no, they call her a witch, but the woman who can turn into the falcon and
Yeah.
and who's been kind of isolated and who she has chi, and because of that she's been like not persecuted but set apart, isolated, and she's become evil. And then Mulan has chi, and then they have this sort of relationship, like a quick 2-minute scene where there's like, I don't know if it's like sexual tension or not, or I don't know what. It's a weird scene, but I was like, this could have been something. This whole like idea of being like women being set apart because they're different, because they show that they can be like men and they're have not even masculine attributes, but just that they can do what men can do. That part, which is the whole reason, the whole story behind Mulan, is just, again, could have been something much better, but it's just bland and just poorly executed. Like it's visually well executed, technically well executed, but the rest is just horrible.
It doesn't engage you either. It sort of just goes through the motions of
Oh,
telling the story, but
yeah,
at no point does it sort of make you invest in the characters, invested
never.
in their actions, their stories. There's no real even the character development. It feels so weird and wrong. It's like this. There's a lot of like these female-led empowerment movies lately, right?
Yeah, of course,
Except in
which
this
is
one,
great.
yeah, but except in this one, as opposed to the original Mulan, where she gets good through training and practice and study. In this one, it's just, oh, hey, look, you have the Force. Use the Force, Mulan.
The
And
training, Go, dude, dude, dude,
yeah,
walking up a mountain with two
oh yeah,
buckets
two buckets and
filled with water that you hold
well,
straight up with
yeah, that is hard. Holding
no.
your arms extended straight like that.
Did you see Mulan, the actress?
Hmm.
She ain't lifting shit. All right, she's not strong enough. All right,
But
trust
she
me.
has chi.
Okay,
But that's
can we also talk about the fact that, okay, so many things to compare. Number one, you said that you don't feel any sort of empathy or sympathy for the characters. You don't feel for the characters.
I
Like
mean, you
the
don't care about the
father,
story.
no, the father in Mulan in the cartoon, I felt for him. Like
Yeah.
he would walk with his cane and fall, and there's emotion there, and I'd be like, oh, and she feels. You're like, oh, that was a cartoon. I know I was a kid. I get it, but even this, the actors, the good casting's fine. Casting is fine. They're good actors, but I just felt nothing for the father. I felt nothing for the relationship of Mulan with her father.
They added a character of her sister who serves absolutely no purpose, who does nothing.
She does nothing. No, but she doesn't. She have a sister in the movie? I don't know. Whatever.
In
Doesn't
the
matter.
animated movie, she doesn't have a sister.
Really, you're
Yeah, they
right. You're
added her
probably
in.
right. Yeah, you're right. I got to say though, the casting of the bad guy of who isn't Hun. His name is, I don't know what. Man,
Yeah.
he's like, I feel like if it was reversed and they made a cartoon about this movie, they would have drawn him like in the
Oh yeah,
Mulan.
absolutely.
Fucking
He's like
perfect.
chewing the scenery. He's fantastic.
He's great. He was the best part of the movie. I loved him.
But even
Um,
even he gets wasted on
yeah,
sort of bland set pieces, and like the only time we really see him fight and do like interesting stuff is near the end in a weird, boring, suspended
yeah, I know.
wood slat fight above melted pots, and it's such a weird. I know I'm jumping around here, but the scene at the end, like the last fight scene, is just so weird.
It's
It's
just,
so gimmicky.
why make a movie that you want to remake a movie? Fine, I get it. And then you change things about the movie because you say to yourself, well, it doesn't make any sense because, she's not gonna, I don't know, the Again, why couldn't it be that she had to climb a pole to get to the arrow like in the original? Why did she have to climb? Because it doesn't make any sense. Well, there's so many things in this movie that don't make any sense. It's like, why do
They
you
changed
change
the
certain
stuff that they
parts of it?
shouldn't have changed, and they kept the
Yeah,
stuff they shouldn't have kept.
yeah. Like
It's a complete.
I don't mind not having Mushu. I don't mind. It's fine.
I mean, it would have been cool to have him.
Yeah, but I get that they didn't put him in, and I get that it's more like a spiritual thing where it's like a phoenix. You know what? That
Which
worked to me. That
doesn't even
worked.
make sense, by the way. In Chinese culture, Phoenix does not make sense in this scenario.
I get it, which is stupid, but I mean, in a sense that they just changed it to something else. It could have been a dragon, now it's a phoenix, whatever. The whole metaphor of Mulan, well, not Mulan, but her male alias dying and then
Huajun.
phoenix. Okay, can we just like
Hang on, just don't skip the phoenix. In Chinese culture, the phoenix doesn't rise from the ashes. That's a Western thing.
does it
So
get cooked?
I don't know what it does. That it just gets plastered onto this sort of pastiche movie. And whereas in Chinese culture, the phoenix is associated with the empress. Like the phoenix is the empress symbol. That's it. That's all it ever is. So this is a weird case of like white people making a movie and going like, I make this culture stuff. This cool.
Yeah. Quick question. Did you look at the casting before you watched the movie?
I did not, which is why we did not expect Donnie Yen to show up.
And how long did it take you to realize that the Emperor was Jet Li?
I beg your pardon? It took me until now to realize. That was Jet Li.
That was Jet Li.
He's still alive.
Yeah, that was Jet Li. Oh my God, I saw it in your face that you're like, are you...
Huh.
I beg your pardon? That was Jet Li.
Huh.
That was Jet Li.
Wow. Okay.
That doesn't change anything about the movie.
Doesn't change anything, but just that it's a weird thing to know that.
Yeah. It's towards the end of the movie where he's tied up and everything, where he's whatever the bad guy's prison. I forget the name of the bad guy.
Fight, soldier. I believe in you.
Yeah, whatever. Well, that's when I was like, is that Jet Li? And I was like, I took my phone out. I was like, no, wait a minute. And I was like, yeah, it's Jet Li. And he's not that old. So it's just like it's a lot of makeup, but he's gotten old. When I saw Donnie Young, that's his name?
Donnie Yen.
Donnie Yen show up. I was happy. I was like, but then I was like, no, wait, not in this movie. He's going to be so underexploited.
He got absolutely wasted. He just didn't do anything cool except talk about your chi.
And it's like, I was thinking to myself, so many people don't know who this guy is. And then they see him and he does these stupid fucking Tai Chi kind of fast movements and whatever. And you're like, no, but this isn't like what he's doing is probably really real. He's actually doing these movements. This isn't like cheesy. It's probably the only part of this whole fucking movie that's authentic. It's him doing these, martial arts movements. And you're like, but it looks so cheesy because they're making it cheesy. Everything.
This movie does this weird thing that a lot of recent movies I find have been doing where it's a case of bad writing where they think that by having something repeat multiple times throughout the movie, it automatically creates leitmotif and meaning. The whole her kicking the spear as like her signature move, like kicking the arrow or kicking, they use it a bunch of times, and like at the end, like was it the Emperor throws an arrow in the air and she kicks it and kills the Ronin? Yeah. It's like it's supposed to be this like, wow, she succeeded, she did her move, she did her, oh look, it's her thing. But at no point do you go, oh look, it's her thing. You go, oh look, she's doing that thing again. It's unearned. It feels worthless. And I hate that a lot of movies are doing this where they think that just by repeating something that the character does, oh, it creates meaning and character and depth. And that's not the case at all.
I know. I mean, I finished the movie and I was not, how could I say this? I wasn't angry. Well, of course I wasn't angry, but I wasn't like dissatisfied. I was just like, again, kind of not overwhelmed, not underwhelmed. I was whelmed. I was like, well, I saw it. I didn't pay for it. Good.
I was very whelmed.
Yeah, you're whelmed. But it's like, it's just, I saw the potential in certain scenes. And I mean, they shot on location that's one of the problems too, because they actually,
they thank the Chinese government at the end there.
Yeah. The whole, I think if you put aside all the political aspects surrounding the movie, this movie probably would have made a lot of money at the box office because a lot of parents would have said, or even then, we didn't watch it with our kids because it was like, this is not a movie for
It's not a
kids.
kids
Like,
movie. It's a
yeah,
movie for grown-ups who've seen Mulan when they were kids.
yeah, because Mulan is one of my Mulan is one of my favorite
It's one of the best.
animated. Like I'm anytime that the song like when they work they're
Be a
training,
man.
man, whatever, yeah, but it's based more or less that. Come on, Nick, don't ruin it for me.
I mean,
I love that song. Like I just love it. I'm happy they didn't put any songs from the movie, except it also kind of got on my nerves that they did keep one song,
well, you
which
can
is
hear
the
a
girl in
few
the
musical
mirror.
cues every now
Yeah,
and
but
then.
it's mostly the same song. It's like
Yeah.
the girl in the mirror. I don't know what. It just keeps coming, but it's like different tempos, different rhythms, different key like notes. So yeah, if none of the movie just
I would have probably enjoyed it more in theaters, just because I would have had like the huge screen. It would have been prettier, bright colors flashing. It might have distracted me for a
nope.
bit longer, but yeah, at
I'm
the end I
glad
felt the same way. I felt it was serviceable.
I'm glad I didn't see it in theaters. I mean, I probably would have. I would have felt the same way. I would have felt like cheated a bit. That's how I felt for every. Because the thing is, every single one of these movies, these Disney remakes, um, I mean, even Aladdin was made by Guy Ritchie, who has a very unique style, and I love his style when he's
And
really
you
on his
sense
game.
none of it in Aladdin.
Exactly. You sense like this could be even Steven Spielberg like would still make a it would still look like a Disney movie. You know what I mean? Like they just take there's so much pressure from the producers and from the company to make a certain style of movie that it just all of them feel the same. They
Yeah,
all even Beauty and the Beast. It's just it's a
they all
bit kind of darker in certain moments, but
they
not
all
really.
feel the same the way that the Marvel movies feel the same. Like, yes, you have
Yeah.
directors, but usually the style feels the same, the writing feels the same. It feels like it was cooked up in some sort of marketing room where they're like, okay, what are the 45 things that have to be in this movie so that we make this amount of money?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
They all kind of feel this way. And again, I've only seen two of the Disney remakes, but they both felt kind of exactly the same.
They follow the same beats, they follow the same patterns. I mean, anybody who and anybody who's not a who hasn't studied films or hasn't not studied films at school but like actually read about movies and stuff like that and writing, um you know they would watch these movies and they all like if they all like them, if they just took a moment to realize that you could almost stop every movie at the same point, like let's say 20 minutes in, and you could write, okay, well, main character has done this. There's like a main character had a like a obstacle, that this happened, and then now she's isolated or alone, and
Hmm.
then there's this person that you're like, it's all the same fucking thing, you know.
That's why we can enjoy movies, right? It's because we know that it's the same thing, right? Everything's already been done, but it's the way that you do it. It's the way that those stories are told.
I got to tell you, I started watching. I'm not done yet. I was watching it before we started recording. I started watching. I'm thinking of ending things.
I was gonna bring it up. I'm so glad you started watching
I'm
it.
not. Yeah, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm not done. That is a movie that
Aren't you having a time?
it is fantastic. It is. It is strange. I think that
And you haven't read the book.
no,
You should
no,
absolutely read the book.
probably by 2030 or something. Maybe I would.
You'll find the time.
Yeah.
It's one of those books that you can read in one sitting.
Oh,
Honestly,
I, I I think that the casting, the actors
it's incredible.
are amazing. I love the what's the name of the main character? Well, the guy in the couple, Jim? No,
Jake,
Jake. I don't remember his name, but that actor in every movie that he's ever been, or any episode of anything he's ever been in, he is so strange. He's so good at being strange. He's like Paul Dano. Paul
it's got a
Dano is
weird
good at
vibe
being
to him.
strange. Yeah,
Having
yeah,
read the book, I had a preconceived notion of what the characters should look like, right?
yeah.
And neither of them were what I pictured. But as soon as they started talking, I was like, "Oh yeah, this is it. They nailed it. This is perfect." Because the
Mm.
performance is exactly what it should be.
It's so strange. I love it.
It's a
It's
weird,
just
weird
like
movie.
it's like a dream, which I love, like a nightmare. It's like a
Adaptations are generally hard because, especially if you're going from a long format to a shorter format, like adapting a book into a movie, because you have to cut so much, right? Sometimes
mm,
it's hard to make that choice. But I find adaptations into longer formats weirder, like book versions of movies. I've read a few, and they're always so weird. Have you ever read a book adaptation of a movie?
Never.
I've read like as examples, I've read the Dark Knight Rises book adaptation, and I started reading the Force Awakens book adaptation.
Mm.
And it's so weird to read those because you watch the movies and you have this sort of understanding of the rhythm of the movie. And when you read the book, it breaks the rhythm so much that it messes you up. Like, say what you want about The Force Awakens, but it has great structured dialogue. Like the dialogue just flows quick, quick, quick. People talk. There's rhythm. There's a good tonality to it, right? But when you go to the book version, suddenly there's like 4 times the dialogue for a single scene. Adds like lines added in here and there, sentences that are longer, and it just doesn't flow at all. You feel like it feels weird and wrong. But adapting something like I'm thinking of ending things, which is almost entirely in the character's head in the book, like it's so internal. I didn't think it was possible to make a movie version out of it. I was just when they announced it, I was like, oh, how are you going to make this? But having watched it, that is how you make it. That's the way.
It's so eerily beautiful, you know?
It's a gorgeous film.
Yeah.
How far, no spoilers, but how far along are you?
They're eating dessert.
Oh, okay.
I'm not very far into it. I'm like
no.
third into it.
I mean, the first like 30 minutes is just in the car and them two talking.
The car. Yeah.
That's all there is.
I love stuff like, what's great about this movie, but again, what I like about this movie, which a lot of people not enjoy, my girlfriend would hate this movie, is that it cuts to this janitor and you're like, why am I seeing the janitor? Why are you showing me this? And I want to know. And I kind of hope it doesn't tell me. I don't want you to tell me anything. I wouldn't mind if at the end of the movie there wouldn't be an explanation about the janitor, and I would just be like, maybe it's in her head, or maybe it's them, maybe it's him older, maybe it's just a parallel universe, maybe she's already dead, maybe they never existed. I don't know. It's just I love that it's making me ask so many questions and trying to make me guess so many things because I don't know. I haven't read the book, so all I'm going on is the fact that things happen in the movie. He does things in the editing that make it feel like this isn't real, which then makes you question so many things but it's all her. Yeah, the dog. Yeah, the dog.
I think the dog is the most disturbing one.
Yeah. It's just that. It's so weird. And it's like, it's so eerie. Sometimes it feels like it could veer into a horror movie. Sometimes it veers like it could be like
it's a malaise movie. It just makes you uncomfortable, deeply, deeply uncomfortable.
And it made me think. It made me think of The Lighthouse in the sense that the last time that I felt this way about a movie was The Lighthouse. The
Lighthouse is exactly the same. Yeah, you're right.
You're watching,
makes you uncomfortable the entire time.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to convince people to watch this movie because I'm like, it's like horror, but you're just uncomfortable the entire time. And they're like, are you sure I'm going to enjoy this? I'm like, no, you're going to love it. It's great. I swear.
You just described my life. You're uncomfortable the whole time. Hey, so I was doing the dishes. I was thinking of like our podcast. I was like, what will we talk about? So you said Mulan. I was like, okay, great, Mulan. And then I started thinking of different things. I was like, oh, so Mulan is Disney and now Marvel in a sense is Disney. It's like, all right, Nick, and I haven't even thought of this. I don't have an answer yet, but give me your best live action crossover Disney Marvel.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So we have to find a Disney. It could be a Disney live action that hasn't been made yet.
Okay, so just the Disney property.
Disney property that that they will probably remake into a live action, and then with a
so an animated property.
Well, I mean, yeah, animated. Let's say animated, and let's try to keep it to a hand-drawn animated.
So no Pixar.
No Pixar, really Disney. And then give me a Marvel property that then there be a crossover where the characters meet and they have to resolve a problem. So I'm thinking of one right now. I'm thinking of Hercules and Thor.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because of like gods. So Thor
they'd both be like these big Chad douche bros just competing.
Exactly. It'd be a very Thor Ragnarok-esque kind of movie to me.
Oh yeah, you get Taika to do it. Absolutely.
Definitely, he'd love it. Who would play Hercules? Damn,
Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
he's already done it, so no, it doesn't count.
Oh, that's why I'm thinking of him. That's
Yeah,
why.
he can't be someone who's already done it. So,
Who else is Mr. Buff guy right now?
oh,
Oh,
how about
bring back Arnie. Just bring back Arnie. Do an old Hercules.
no? I thought no, Army Hammer.
Oh, Armie Hammer would be good too. I was thinking Arnold Schwarzenegger. Just bring back
Yeah.
an old Hercules.
Oh, but he's already been Hercules.
Has he?
His first ever movie, his first ever was Hercules.
Jeez.
Oh my
Well,
God, I've never seen the movie. Please do yourself a favor. We'll watch it together after the podcast. We'll just watch together the Hercules trailer with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I've never seen it.
It is wonderful, Nick. It is just the trailer's enough. That's all you need to see.
Well, the only answer that still makes sense is Jason Momoa. He'd be a great Hercules.
That's true. It'd be great.
He'd be fantastic.
Yeah,
I'm trying to. You asked me the question. I'm trying to think like of animated Disney movies. I'm thinking, and none of them are coming back to mind. It's like I've forgotten every single Disney animated film I've ever seen. But I'm thinking back to my favorites, and Iron Giant and Iron Man is what I want.
That's good too. But like
that's a fit. You know, it's like a robot from space, and then human robot man from Earth, and there's a story there.
What if like Iron Giant?
Iron Giant goes, "I am Superman," and Iron Man goes, "Who?"
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
What? No, I don't understand. No, we can't.
Wrong property.
Wrong property. No, that's pretty good. Because I was gonna say, but then I realized it's not the same. It's DC. I was gonna say like Little Mermaid and Aquaman, but that's DC, so that doesn't.
That
work.
would be good though.
Yeah, but no, I think Thor and Hercules is like bros trying to, I don't know, just and you have Hades, and Hades is played by the same actor who voiced him in
who did voice him?
Fuck, I forgot his name. It's gonna come back. It's gonna come back to me.
What I would love to see is the Merlin character from Sword of the Stone interacting with Doctor Strange.
That's so good. That is really good.
I would love to see those two in a room, because the Merlin character from Sword of the Stone is probably the best Merlin portrayal ever.
Oh God, it was such a good movie. See, those need to be made into. No, don't make them into movies. Please stop. Like, you have enough money. No, you don't. They need more money.
I'll be honest. The one that I really could see being made into a genuinely good live action would be Atlantis.
Yeah.
Because that translates very well to like one of those like adventure, like a Jumanji style movie. Just an action adventure that's funny and relatively kid friendly. It'd be like Avatar, but not bad, not bland as hell.
I'm looking forward to 8 Avatars.
Oh, 9. Don't even bring that 10. Up. I don't even want to talk about that. That is not on the table. That is not.
It's not.
Avatar is not on the table. I do not want to talk about Avatar.
Hey Nick, do you want to get COVID by going to see Tenet sometime?
I almost went to see it this week and I was too tired.
Yeah, me too.
You want to get COVID and see Tenet next week? Because I do.
I'd love to, and we could then review it. And
I would love
to try to review it.
Watch another movie where I can't hear any of the dialogue because they're all mumbling, and then there's a loud organ noise in the background.
I know it's gonna be so. You know what? I think that this might be the movie that I think this might be the movie that breaks my sort of admiration for Christopher Nolan, because at a certain point, I think that if he keeps making these convoluted, weird, time travel-y movies, at a certain point, I'm just gonna get like. Inception was good, was really good, but you were impressed because you don't understand shit, and you're like, oh, I got it at the end, okay, and then like he turns the thing, and you're like, okay, I understood everything. You're like, I got this, and then you watch Interstellar, and you're like, dude, you're starting to try to do too much here. This is too complicated, and then he tries to over explain things, which kind of makes the movies too long, because he always wants people to like, he never leaves anything except for Inception, at the end of Inception, where he there's the what's it called again? The thing is this thing.
I don't know.
Whatever. Except for Inception, where he leaves that open-ended. all of Christopher Nolan's movies always have a scene where he's explaining every single aspect about what is going on with the time travel and the space travel and the this and the that and that. And you're like, I get it. You're
Because
smart.
even though he's posing as an indie director, he's still a blockbuster guy. He
Oh,
wants you
fuck
to
yeah.
get it by the end.
He's like Michael Bay. Like people, he's like Michael Bay. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but he is Michael Bay, but like with Michael Bay's just like the same kind of movies, but with like they're dumber.
Yeah.
They're just like, hey, these are robots that are fighting, you know?
He's Michael Bay for pretentious people. That's all there
Yeah.
is to it.
Yeah.
And Inception works because Inception is basically like a weird sci-fi Mission Impossible.
Yeah, no, it's
So it
great.
works very well.
It's a heist
fun
movie.
action movie. Yeah, it's a
I
heist
love it.
action movie. Yeah, it works
love it.
super well.
And you know,
And-
the Dark Knight is an amazing, again, not a heist movie, but like more of a film noir
Yeah,
kind of.
it's a really good duology. It's a really like two good Batman films.
Yeah,
It's
only
rare
two.
to see a duology in Hollywood.
Only
You
two.
know, it's weird that he never made a third one, but you know, and that's his choice. And you know, it ends really on a cliffhanger.
I listened to another podcast that talked about Batman, The Dark Knight Rises, and someone's
What is that?
Just-
I've never heard of it.
yeah, it's
Doesn't ring a bell.
like this abstract movie that came out.
Must be like a weird
like,
spin-off, right?
yeah, it's a weird spin-off. The actors you've never heard about.
Off-brand.
Yeah, off-brand. Yeah. It's, Tom Hanks plays Batman. Anyway, so someone explained it by saying, why would you have a movie where Bruce Wayne has to become Batman again? And then when I heard that, I was like, that is exactly what that movie is. It's Bruce Wayne having to become Batman a second fucking time in the trilogy. And I was like, that's why I hate this. I don't hate it. That's why I didn't like it. Because it's just like, it's the same, like, is this, we're restarting again. But again,
the
you have to, because as soon as you have Bane, you have to see Bane breaking Batman's back. And you're like, no, you don't have to, you know.
The thing is,
We really shouldn't
I
start talking
know.
about this. Is bad.
if
What
we
is this
start talking
podcast?
about Dark Knight Rises, we're never going to stop because I have so many thoughts on that movie. Can we make an episode about Dark Knight Rises and how bad it is?
Well, I'd like us to, I think that we should, I wanted to talk about Mission Impossible. I
rewatched 4 of them this week.
What? Wait, how, Nick? How?
I would
How
get
do you have so
home
much time?
and I would just watch until like 11 at midnight. I rewatched Ghost Protocol. I rewatched the third one, which is bad. I rewatched Syndicate, or Rogue Nation, and Fallout.
So the thing is, I realized that I've only seen, how many are there? 6?
Yeah, 6.
I realized that I've only seen 3.5. So I saw the first one. I saw the second one. John Woo, right? Second one, John Woo.
Yeah. That's
Okay,
right.
so I saw the first one, the second one. I saw parts of Ghost Protocol. I don't know. I saw
So
the
you've never
last.
seen the third one.
I've never seen the one with Seymour Hoffman. No, is that it?
That's
Seymour
Philip Seymour
Hoffman?
Hoffman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you're in luck. That's the worst one.
Oh, good.
Not very good.
Okay.
It's
Too bad, 'cause I love
directed
Seymour
by
Hoffman.
J.J. Abrams.
So
And it's
lens
not very
flares
good.
everywhere. Oh.
I mean, the only good part of that is, I mean, obviously, I was almost gonna say Tom Hanks. Tom Cruise. Tom
God, I love
Cruise
that.
is obviously great. As
Tom
is,
Hanks plays in everything.
Michelle Monaghan.
Yeah.
And Philip Seymour Hoffman. Like they're all fantastic, but the actual story is terrible. And I know why. And I would love to discuss this at some point because I have words about Mission Impossible 3.
So we should do that. I'd love to do that, but I think that we should also talk about. I'd like to talk about the Batman movies, like all of them.
Oh God,
All
that's
of
a
them.
4-hour podcast.
Or we could. I mean,
We
we
need
could
a
just.
structure there.
I think we need to record like this is like we're doing like office work. Like I mean, podcasts like office whatever. Oh God, I'm so tired, Nick. Make me words bad come
Words
out.
make hard do good. Yeah. Hey, this is a shorter episode. We could just cut it here. That's it. I think both of our brains are fried.
Oh man, this is the worst we've ever done. You
Yeah.
should start with. You should start.
No,
with
sorry,
this.
the pilot. No, the pilot is still worse. Our pilot is the
probably.
worst one.
Yeah. We didn't know what we were doing, you know. Yeah, but this is still fun. I mean, it's still a lot of fun to do. But I feel like we. Oh, okay. Hey, Nick.
Hey guys, welcome back to the final podcast, episode 8. We talk about Mulan.
I wanted to talk about personal experiences. I have a few stories, like one particular story.
Fine,
Remember this?
one story. Yeah.
One is enough. So, was it the last podcast that we talked about our personal experiences?
Yes,
I think it was. Okay.
We also
So-
talked about it over dinner a couple weeks ago.
So, like, in the last podcast, or one of the last podcasts, I talked about the fact that I was on a shoot, and I looked at the call sheet, and then I realized that there was someone had to drop coffee on themselves, and I was like, I'm the only one here,
Yeah.
so what's gonna happen? So yeah, I dropped the coffee on myself. Well, I remember one even worse than that. Okay, so I'm same production office, and they tell me, so we're doing we're not even doing a pilot, we're doing a like a proof of concept, or like a teaser for a new show they want to do, right? And the show is called something like Trapped, or it's something, a play on words with trap, right? And it's basically stories of real life stories of people who have been, for different reasons, car accident, boating accident, hiking accident, whatever, they're trapped somewhere alone, and they have to find a way to escape or survive, and they did. And then they told their stories, and then the show would be kind of reenactments of them living through their horrible incident and whatever. So I'm told it's going to be you, DOP, director. All right, fine. I've done this before. We're going to go, it's like, we're going to shoot around the, like, different, like, just a few shots with, there's going to be voiceover, and there's going to be like a lot of animation. So it's just, the shots you're going to shoot are bland things. All right, great. We leave. I realize there's only me and the DOP. And the DOP says, it's all right. Doesn't really matter. I mean, I'll kind of direct. It's like, I've been told what they want. They gave me a shot list. Let's go do this. I'm like, okay, where are we going? And like the coordinator says, you're going to what is it called? Where they put all the cars that have been like abandoned, or it's like, what is that called? Like not a garbage pile, but a scrapyard. Thank you, Nick. Scrapyard. So we go to
I got your back.
So we go to scrapyard, and I'm like, so why are we going to a scrapyard? Well, we have to shoot like a car that's been it's upside down. I'm like, okay. I start reading the things, and it says, and this is my fault, by the way, because I couldn't say no, so this is my fault. It's so totally on me. But I felt like if I didn't do it, then they'd be angry, and then they might fire me. And you're young, you're like, I'll just do it. It says that someone is in the car and needs to escape the car while it's upside down.
No. No, you didn't.
So
have some self-respect.
So we find a car. We find the owner of the scrapyard, and he says, like, and we ask him, can you flip it over? He's like, yeah, I'll go get my tractor. So he gets his tractor, flips it over. And then like I'm with I don't remember his name. And he's like, well, like, do you want to go in it? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So I go inside the car because, to be honest, I thought it was kind of fun. Like I was gonna act that I was strapped. It's like it's make believe.
Yeah, it sounds like a tetanus infection.
Yeah, I have no sound blankets to put on the ground. Nothing.
I'm crawling on broken glass.
I'm crawling on broken glass, trying to fit into this car that's upside down, and then sit kind of upside down and pretend that I'm stuck.
Oh gosh!
Climb out of the fucking car.
That clip is online somewhere, right? Please tell me there's a video of this.
I don't know. The worst part is I saw it after, and it's just like I'm barely in it.
Of course, they never even used it. Of course. Why would they?
They used like 5 seconds of me, and it took us like an hour and a half of me in this fucking rusty, broken car that's upside down. And I did it. I did it because you do things that you regret when you're young, and you want to prove yourself. But what's worse, dropping coffee on a shirt or crawling into an upside down car for a proof of concept?
I mean, I think they're both pretty bad, so it's hard to kind of pick one, right?
Pretty bad, right? And I remembered this like 5 minutes after we start recording. I was like, oh my God, that story. Oh.
We have a bunch of stories that we didn't tell during that episode.
Yeah.
I told you a couple during dinner a couple weeks ago that were like terrible.
Oh man. Anyway, I just wanted to share that one to say that it's just, you realize how far you've come when you think back on things that you did and how you started out and how you just, I mean, it's just crazy. So yeah, that was one of my other stories.
I no longer crawl through scrap and broken glass for my work. Progress.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've done not as worse, but pretty bad too. I mean, or in the sense that they've taken advantage of us.
Oh yeah,
they take advantage of us. Like, and I hate doing that. Like I hire people and I'm like, I feel bad when I make them do things that I'm like, I hated doing that when I was a PA. It was like, yeah, but you're a PA. So I was like,
You always say like, sorry, but you got to be the one to do this.
yeah, exactly. Like you got to do it. Like I can't be the one doing it because I can't, like you can't have a production manager. Like I do a lot of things on set. I do everything on set.
Yeah.
I don't mind. But sometimes I hear people like, I can't believe the production manager's doing it. I'm like, shit, I shouldn't be doing it.
It sets a precedent that you don't want to set.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So that's my story that I wanted to tell. I guess that's it. I guess
That's it. That's the episode.
Our second worst podcast ever, but I don't care. We had to get it out of our system, and then we're gonna do something
The next
better
one's
next
gonna
time.
be golden.